Reese, lone survivor of his decimated pack, battles his dark doppelganger in the cursed wastes, while Trinity is imprisoned by Warlocks for a dark ritual. Reese's strength fades, Trinity feels his pain, and Calum hints at unforeseen events. What is the ritual's true purpose? Can Reese defeat his shadow self? Will Trinity survive? Reese gasped as his shadow self struck him again, the force sending him crashing onto the cracked ground of the wastes. His body screamed in protest, but he forced himself up, blood dripping from his lip. The doppelganger tilted its head, watching him with unsettling amusement. You're fighting a battle you've already lost. Reese's fists clenched. I don't lose. The shadow smirked. Then why are you alone? The words hit deeper than any physical blow. Reese's breath caught. He could still see them. Elias, Juniper, Noah, Vincent, Trinity, all of them taken, lost, slipping further away with every second he wasted here. And the worst part, a small, traitorous part of him agreed with the shadow. Maybe he had lost. But then he heard it. Faint, distant, a heartbeat. Trinity's. Reese's eyes snapped up. The wastes were lying to him, twisting his mind, feeding on his doubt. He bared his teeth, golden energy flaring around him. I'm not alone. He launched himself forward, claws ripping through his shadow's chest. The doppelganger's smirk faded into shock. And then, it shattered. In the Warlocks' sanctum, Calum stood before the captive wolves, his hands clasped behind his back. The air in the chamber was thick with power, the magic pulsing through the very walls. You've been difficult to break, he mused, his silver eyes sweeping over Juniper, Noah, Vincent, and Elias. But we don't need all of you, Juniper snarled, struggling against the chains binding her. Go to hell. Calum smirked. Oh, I've already been there, let's not waste time. He turned to Elias. Tell me, Seer, do you know what's happening to your alpha? Elias's jaw tightened. He's stronger than you think. Calum chuckled. We'll see. With a flick of his fingers, a portal shimmered into existence. Within it, Reese was visible, kneeling in the wastes, exhausted but alive. Calum's voice turned cold. Bring him to me. Reese staggered forward, each step heavier than the last. He had won against his shadow, but the wastes were still draining him, sapping his strength with every breath. Then, the ground beneath him shifted. Chains erupted from the earth, glowing with dark magic. They coiled around his wrists, his ankles dragging him down. Reese fought, muscles straining, but the more he struggled, the tighter they became. A voice echoed through the void. You cannot fight fate. His head snapped up. A figure stood in the distance, cloaked in silver and black. Calum. The warlock lifted a hand, and the chains yanked Reese off his feet. Then, the world vanished in a pulse of blinding light. Pain flared through Reese's body as he crashed onto the cold stone floor of the Warlock's sanctum. He gasped, his senses reeling, his mind struggling to process what had just happened. He wasn't in the wastes anymore. He was in the enemy's stronghold. A familiar voice rang out. Reese! He turned sharply. Across the chamber, bound in heavy restraints, were Juniper, Noah, Vincent, and Elias. Their faces were bruised, their bodies battered, but they were alive. A surge of relief warred with fury inside him. They had taken everything from him, his pack, his mate. And now, they thought they had him. Calum stepped forward, his smirk infuriatingly calm. Welcome home, Alpha. Reese bared his teeth. This isn't my home. Calum chuckled. It will be soon. Reese struggled against his restraints, but the Warlock's magic burned into his skin, suppressing his strength. He could feel the power thrumming in the chamber, the air itself heavy with ancient spells. Calum paced before him, his expression almost amused. You have no idea what you are, do you? Reese's jaw clenched. I know enough. Calum tilted his head. Do you? He gestured toward Trinity's prison where she remained frozen in magic. She was always meant to be the key, but then you came along. Reese's chest tightened. What are you talking about? Calum leaned closer. She was the sacrifice, Alpha, but you? You are the weapon. Reese's blood turned to ice. The Warlocks didn't want to destroy him. They wanted to use him. And as the magic around him pulsed, stronger than ever, he realized too late. Reese's body tensed as the magic binding him surged, wrapping tighter around his limbs. The Warlock's power pressed against his skin, seeping into him like venom. Every instinct screamed at him to fight, to break free, but the more he struggled, the more it drained him. Calum stood before him, his silver eyes gleaming with anticipation. "You feel it now, don't you?" Reese gritted his teeth, refusing to give in. "I feel your desperation." Calum merely smiled. "You're mistaken, Alpha. This isn't desperation. This is destiny." With a flick of his wrist, the runes lining the chamber ignited, filling the air with a deafening hum. The energy in the room grew heavy, pulsing in sync with Reese's own heartbeat. And then he felt it, a pull deep within his soul. Something inside him was waking up. Elias struggled against his restraints, his voice raw. "Reese, don't let them do this!" Juniper and Vincent thrashed against their bonds, their faces twisted in fury, but the Warlock's magic held firm. Calum turned to them, a quiet amusement in his voice. "Your Alpha isn't your savior anymore." He lifted his hands and the ritual began. The ritual surged, dark magic binding Reese. His golden light flickered, replaced by something alien. Calum smiled, his weapon taking form. The wolves watched, horrified. A blinding flash, then silence. Had they won? What was Reese now? Could he ever be saved?
Hey, I am Trinity. Want to know what happens next? Then click the link in the description below and download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha,